up into third place. Darryl Young is now in a podium position, making up for the demotion down to 11th on the grid for the start of this race. On track, won the race yesterday in the stewards room. It was decreed, unfortunately, he would start 11th, and that's unfortunate as well. It is the Mercedes AMG of, I think, Yao Liangbo. And it didn't take too long for Darryl Young to close up onto the back.
Like a Hellcat.
The Craft Bamboo racing car of Darryl Young. 2 lights on the gantry, 2 minutes to go, become 1. And the BMW will lead the field around on the formation lap, ahead of a 12-lap race for the Macau GT Cup. Off goes the BMW, and the rest will follow. I'm sure they will all now be very aware of the rules of essentially social distancing on the formation lap. Darryl Young deemed to be too close side by side with other cars on the formation lap, so therefore won't want to make the same mistake again. BMW leads them around, then the 2. The BMW safety car this year, BMW providing all the official cars of the 2020 Macau Grand Prix, and the Mercedes on pole position of Ye Hong Li. Toro Racing Mercedes AMG 33. He's 28 years old. Formula Renault 2-litre Euro Cup back in 2014. Did the Formula 3 Macau Grand Prix in 2016. He's been racing in Japanese Formula 3, GT World Asia, China Touring Car Championship this year, China Endurance Championship, and the debut this weekend for Ye Hong Li in the Macau GT Cup. So you can see the legacy of one of our accidents during the Macau gear race, the fluid having been dressed down at Lisboa. Fairly regular operation. As soon as fluid comes down, they're able to dress it. The specific agent that will deal with the fluid, and then if they get the chance, they get a chance to sweep up that powder which is put down, and certainly very quickly makes the circuit that much more raceable. So the formation lap for the Macau GT Cup. Pick your winner, everybody. Whoever you're cheering on, be it a driver or a mark, there are plenty to choose from. In total, 25 cars on the grid for the Macau GT Cup. And what a fantastic sight they make. Big cars, powerful cars. I mean, they get onto the tight and twisty mountain section of the circuit. They do just look so impressive. Huge talent required to inch perfectly control the cars to avoid those inviting barriers in Macau black and yellow right the way around the circuit. Donna Maria is where they are now, the left-hander, up towards the Melco hairpin, actually down towards the Melco hairpin, and the final sector of the circuit. Once they get through Melco, and you can see with the big GT3 cars, it's not the work of a moment to negotiate the no overtaking Macau hairpin down to Black Sands. Fisherman's Bend is a very challenging and quick and impressive corner. The penultimate corner on the circuit. Final weaving of the cars to get heat into the tyres. And that is Daryl O'Young. We'll be keeping a good eye on Daryl, starting down in 11th place. Needs to make up places and make them up early as well. Does Daryl O'Young. BMW keeping the cars in order up towards the final turn, our bend, and to get the race underway. BMW will peel off. We're about to get the Macau GT Cup race underway around our bend, up towards the starting gantry, over the grid slots, up towards the line, and we'll get racing underway. Pole position, the number 33 car of Ye Hon Lee, and they're racing at Macau. Lights go out, and for pole position, Ye Hon Lee gets a good start, slots in the front of the field, ahead of the car of David Chen from the outside of the front row of the grid. Marching Lee there in 3rd place, through Mandarin, down towards Lisboa, picking up the dust that dressed the accident we had earlier in the touring car race. Through Lisboa, oh, only just got through, and that was Dan Can getting it wrong on the turn into Lisboa, and very, very lucky not to scrape the tyre wall on the outside of the corner at Lisboa. That was inch perfect. We're trying not to do that again. Good bit of daylight now already for the race leader, for Ye Hon Lee in the number 33 GT3 Evo car. Lovely sound from these cars, and it echoes around the circuit here at Macau. Unfortunately, we already have one car which has hit the barrier. Driver out of the car, which is very good news. Walking away, at your race leader. Number 33, the race leading car, the Toro Racing Mercedes AMG. Safety car being deployed for the recovery of the stricken car on circuit. So everyone comes down to a more sedate pace as the BMW safety car is deployed. How many places did Daryl O'Young manage to make up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 places made up. So safety car deployed. So up to 7th place for Daryl O'Young. I think I said he made up 7 places. No, he didn't. He made it up to 7th place. That's your race leader up towards the start line, picking up the safety car in due course around turn 1, and the BMW will be there to pick up the field. Will come through, avoiding the car which has made contact with the barrier over on the left-hand side of the circuit. BMW is the follower leader, and indicating to the field to keep well over to the right-hand side of the track and avoid the recovery that's going to be required. The course workers here at Macau very adept at dealing with the recovery of a car. They can really get this job done pretty quickly if there aren't any complications of circuit furniture like we had during the significant incidents in the gear race, the touring car race that we've just had at Macau, where circuit furniture was damaged pretty heavily. So Darrell Young getting up to 7th place on the opening lap. Just been confirmed there on the screen. Confirmation of the order as well. They are behind safety car and laps remaining this race. Very early days for Darrell Young. Did a good job to make up so many places on the opening lap, and that's the thing, to make up those places earlier on, to not allow the leaders to get away. That's when the job becomes insurmountable. Happened to Eduardo Matara a couple of years ago, not able to make the places up, and then it becomes an unenjoyable race, watching the leaders off into the distance and really not able to do anything about it. So the field in the Macau GT Cup race here at Macau, threading their way up through the technical mountain section of the circuit. Marchi Li from Hong Kong, China, 44 years old. As so many of the drivers in GT Cup has experienced early on the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, which has been a great proving ground across the world for drivers in GT cars. Going on to multiple years for Marchi Li in the Audi R8 LMS Cup, which he won in 2012. So number 88 Lotus Exige of Lo Pak Yu, the 778 Autosport car, is lifted onto the recovery vehicle, and the BMW safety car leads the field down from the Belco hairpin on the run towards Fisherman's Bend. The one thing that you only manage to realise when you're actually trackside at Macau is just one of the sorts of facilities this event is. The beautiful noises, incredibly loud, echoing around the walls and the shops and businesses around the circuit of Macau. 7:30 in the morning is historically on Saturday everybody's alarm clock, because the motorcycles go out and the noise around the streets of Macau echoes out. If you're hoping for a lie-in on the Friday of Macau, or the Saturday of Macau when they also have a warm-up, think again. Incredibly noisy and a wonderful, wonderful sound. So the Lotus on the back of the recovery vehicle, and as the cars weave their way across the tarmac, trying to maintain that temperature in the tyres. Keep looking to see if we've got up to the magical 30s on the ambient temperature here at Macau. That was in the weather forecast. Still says 27. I don't believe them. It looks very warm, and when you see the drivers in the press conference after the race, you see just how hot they've got in the cockpit of the car. It's not surprising. Very, very warm indeed. And this is where the drivers will notice just how hot it gets. It's when they're going slowly, it's when they notice it. Slow or stop, they feel the heat. When they're at race pace, they haven't got time to think about temperature. and just press on. Which is what they're doing now behind the BMW, the 2 safety car. Behind the safety car, they will continue to tick off the laps. So the laps continue. Tyre screening as well, all part of the assault of the senses that is the Macau Grand Prix weekend. So lucky to have this event staged in 2020. A wonderful celebration of motorsports in this part of the world, and an opportunity for more local drivers, drivers of the region, to be on the world stage and to shine and to show their talent, expertise around the world. So, the leader, Hong Li, in the Toro Racing Mercedes-AMG GT3 Evo. Third time through Donna Maria, down towards the Macau hairpin. Another lap under safety car conditions is soon to be completed into the 4th sector on the timing screens. The order, as you can see, the 33 car of Hong Li, from the number 38 car of Marchi Li, 66 car in 3rd place, Min Heng, 28 car in 4th place, David Chen, 5th place the number 9 car, Zhang Can, and safety car due to come in this lap. So final opportunity to weave the cars, get a bit of heat into the tyre, get ready for the restart. The BMW pulls off into pit lane and the race is back underway for the Macau GT Cup. Race leader gets a good restart as well. So Hong Li gets the pound out first of all, but what of the restart for Darrell Young? Still there in 7th place, so not able to capitalise on the restart, but having a look at the back of the Lamborghini, who in turn is looking to make up a place on the Mercedes number 9 of Zhang Can. But as they come down towards Lisboa, under pressure is the 66 car of Min Heng through Lisboa, and Darrell Young is through San Francisco now onto the mountain section of the Gears circuit here at Macau. Welcome along everyone, wherever you're watching. This is the unmistakable sight and sound of Macau and the Macau GT Cup, and unfortunately that beautiful MGM liveried Mercedes, the number 21 car of Wang Hao, doing a typical Lisboa moment, missing the turn in. And sadly, there is an escape road there. If you decide not to make the corner early enough, you can just use the escape road and avoid the collision that we've just seen. Great shame that, but it won't take too long to rectify things down at Lisboa. Keep the race going. Marchi Li in 2nd place, pursuing the number 33 car that leads the race of Hong Li. Down towards the Macau hairpin, over to the bus stop on the left-hand side of the circuit, using all the track. You need all the track in these big GT cars on the exit of the corner. A good flowing exit to the corner can not only finish this lap off nicely, but also sets up for a good next lap. See that in qualifying. Darrell Young having to be brave, having a look down on the inside. Very, very quick part of the circuit. Mohammed Sang can, but Darrell O'Young is looking to make the place up on, and does so now. So Darrell O'Young bravely having a look at Fisherman's Bend, setting the manoeuvre up, and by the end of the lap has completed the manoeuvre. So Darrell O'Young up into 5th place from 11th on the grid. That's the race leader, car 33, Ye Hong Lee. Waved yellow flags indicating it's still the Mercedes that we have down there, as Darrell O'Young now has clear track and time to make up to get onto the back of the 4th place car, which is the 28 car of Chen Wei-an. Again, up through the mountain section for the race leader. Down to the left-hander at maternity. Have to be so inch perfect on this pass of the gear circuit at Macau. Wall on one side, barrier on the other. Need to keep it neat, tidy, and place the car inch perfectly, which at the moment, as they go through police up towards Moorish, is what the race leader Ye Hong Lee in the Mercedes is able to produce. Second to Darrell O'Young on track yesterday. So the 66 car of Min Heng in 3rd place, with number 28 just behind Che Wei-an. They all bunch up together. The battle for 2nd place, the 3rd place down through the corner, and Ye Hong Lee 4 laps in the book in this 12-lap race. 8 laps remain for the 2020 Macau GT Cup. Darrell O'Young looking at the back of the 28 car of Che Wei-an in 4th place. Didn't take long to catch up to the back of the Audi Sport Asia team Audi R8. And now Darrell O'Young is looking very menacing indeed. Needs to pick the place. In turn, there's a question of attack and defence for the 28 car of Che Wei-an, looking at taking a place away from Min Heng, and does so. And by San Francisco, Darrell O'Young has done it as well. So, what a super opportunistic moment for Che Wei-an. And Darrell O'Young makes the most of the door being opened as well. The loser in all of that, Min Heng. So the two of them, that manoeuvre completed, beautiful at Lisboa. No other opportunity than to hit the brakes and avoid a collision for Min Heng. But unfortunately, Darrell O'Young was right there, and opportunistic, very much the name of the game for Darrell O'Young. The door open, thanks very much. I'll take that one as well. And now, having made the manoeuvre stick for Che Wei-an in car 28, he's now got Darrell O'Young absolutely tied to the back of the car towards the Macau hairpin, down to Macau through the corner. Sixth lap about to be completed, and that will put them on to the second half of this 12-lap race. And Darrell O'Young, really quite a menacing presence behind the car of Chen Wei-an. 4th place, 5th place, as they go through across the line to complete now 6 laps, half distance. Chen Wei-an up into 3rd place after that manoeuvre on Min Hang, and Darrell O'Young through in 4th place, just shy of the podium positions. And Chen Wei-an is now going to have to keep this so neat, so tidy, and not make a single error to allow the door to be open for a recovery drive from Darrell O'Young after the 11th place drop on the grid after being first on track yesterday in the qualification race. Now, Darrell O'Young is keeping right on the tail of Chen Wei-an. They twist their way through the maze of walls and barriers that typify the gear circuit here at Macau. First time in a little while we've been back to look at the leader. Why? Because he's in splendid isolation at the front of the field, and the 33 car of Ye Hong Lee continues on his way, not under pressure. He can pick the perfect line, keep it neat, keep it tidy, get some flow to the race. Marchie Lee in 2nd place, meanwhile, can see very large in his mirrors this battle for 3rd, with Chen Wei-an and Darrell O'Young closing the gap in their defence and attack of their own battle, closing in on the 2nd place car, the 38 car of Marchie Lee, the Audi R8 LMS car. Darrell O'Young has a look, slots in behind, go through the final turn. 7 laps in the book now. Darrell O'Young looking very threatening now as they head down towards turn 1 at Reservoir. Through Reservoir they go. This the incredibly quick run down towards Mandarin, and ultimately Lisboa. It's an overtaking opportunity if ever there was one, but Darrell O'Young seemingly not close enough to the back of Chen Wei-an, where they both took the opportunistic move to make up a place earlier on. Darrell O'Young has to slot in just behind. Up the hill they go. They climb the mountain together, and so far Chen Wei-an has kept it perfect. Darrell O'Young was just having a look there. That would have been quite remarkable, or potentially hoping to force an error, if you like, just by making his presence known and therefore opening the door. An error is what he's hoping for at the moment, is Darrell O'Young. But thus far, Chen Wei-an has kept it very neat, very tidy, and hasn't made that mistake to open the door. Police, the right-hander, into the corner they go. Quickly on to Moorish. Again, a right-hander. Little wiggle from the 28 car coming out of Moorish corner, and then on to Donna Maria. Down to the Macau airfield once again. Enthralling battle this. Can Darrell O'Young get at very least onto the podium? Chen Wei-an doing everything within the toolbox of defence to keep it neat and tidy and not make an error and not throw any opportunity to Darrell O'Young. It's great that the TV director is keeping with this battle, because it is absolutely fascinating to see who's going to blink first in this battle for the final podium position. The recovery drive, which at the moment has come to a pause from 11th place on the grid for Darrell Young. But we still have 4 laps to go. Darrell Young very, very close this time. Pulls out to the left-hand side, having a look down on the outside as they go into Lisboa. It was really only a sign of intention, I think, going into Lisboa. And Chen Wei-an in 3rd place, driving beautifully under huge pressure not to make a mistake. Look how close Darrell Young is to the back of Chen Wei-an's car, through Teddy Ip, onto the solid GS's. Hear the tyres squealing. The ultimate test of human and machine around the gear circuit at Macau. Onto Police. Through the corner they go, still 2 tied together as one. Chen Wei-an, Darrell Young, and Donna Maria, the corner. Through the left-hander they go, once again up towards the Macau hairpin. You can watch this for hours, absolutely fascinating. And it really is a question of who will make a mistake or who will go for a brave manoeuvre. That's the story that will play out over the next 3 laps, because they are about to complete now. 9 laps in the book. Meanwhile, the race leader, Ye Hong Lee, still out on his own. The advantage at the completion of 9 laps over Marchi Lee in 2nd place, 6 seconds. So they've both completed 9 laps. Now the battle for 3rd and 4th. Chen Wei-an leading from Darrell Young. That's Marchi Lee in 2nd place. And still no mistake this time. Darrell Young is going to get side by side and get round before they get towards Lisboa. So a change in position. Darrell Young worked it out. He planned his manoeuvre. That time was close enough to execute it beautifully by the time they got towards Lisboa. Jinks out from behind, side by side, on the outside line, but he gets the job done before he gets to Lisboa. Turns in, perfect tight line, and a little bit of a wiggle, having been demoted down to 3rd place. Laps to go. Up into 3rd place. Darrell Young is now in a podium position, making up for the demotion down to 11th on the grid for the start of this race. On track, won the race yesterday in the stewards' room. It was decreed, unfortunately, he would start 11th, and that's unfortunate as well. It is the Mercedes AMG of, I think, Yao Liangbo. And it didn't take too long for Darrell Young to close up onto the back of Marchi Lee. A red flag. So, a red flag. Race suspended with 2 laps to go. And we were blessed with a beautiful battle for 3rd place. A credit to both of them. Chen Wei-an doing a perfect job of defending from Darrell Young. Everyone knows the pedigree of Darrell Young, his experience, but Chen Wei-an kept it very neat, very tidy, and that is the story, the clout and the bang of the Mercedes number 8 car of Yao Liangbo. Team Kinetic Racing Mercedes, and the recovery like a Hellcat.